welcome to another B&T unboxing video. Today we have in front of us Mario Tennis for Game Boy Color. This is my first Game Boy unboxing, so this is kind of exciting. There's actually, the real reason why I got this game was I wanted to test out the Super Game Boy versus the Game Boy Player for the GameCube. And I figured the Game Boy Color would be the optimal way to do that. Unfortunately, after I got the game, I found out the Super Game Boy does not play Game Boy Color games. I shouldn't be surprised since the Super Game Boy came out before the Game Boy Color system, but I had just thought it would work. But I was able to play in the Game Boy Player for the GameCube, and it looks fantastic, but it's an HDMI adapter that plugs into the digital output of the GameCube. Output's at 480i, it looks really good. I'll try to make a video of that later on. But for right now, we're going to focus on Mario Tennis. And again, my initial idea was Super Game Boy versus Super Game Boy on an original Super Nintendo with RGB hooked into a PVM monitor, and then the Super Game Boy on the analog Super NT, and compare those two with the Game Boy Player on the GameCube. That's not going to happen, at least not with this game. I have other original Game Boy games that could work on, and I may revisit this idea in the future. But for now, just this game. And I picked this one. There was a list I found of like top 10 Game Boy Color games, and this was on it. And I've never played Mario Tennis, any version of it, so I think I'll give it a try. But let's take a quick look at the box, and we'll go through the game. Alright, so the box is in pretty good shape. The top sticks up a little bit, but no big deal. But overall, it's in really good condition. Yeah, there's no creases, no wear. Yeah, never been into Game Boy games. Collecting, that is. I do have like 10, 20, but never really got into collecting them. But I do like the size. They're very nice. Alright, so we have the box. Followed by the Game Boy version of the consumer information booklet. We then have the Mario Tennis manual in color, which seems quite appropriate. I'm assuming there's one that's in black and white, but being Game Boy Color, the color manual seems quite appropriate. Very clean manual. There doesn't appear to be any writing in it. Then we have the Game Boy game itself in its little plastic baggie. Slide that out. This one comes in a clear case. I've only had 2 Game Boy Color games, not including this one. One was Missile Command, and that one also had a clear case with a rumble pack. And the first one I had was Conker's Pocket Tales, which was a black case. So I don't know if clear is a Game Boy Color thing or not. But this one's clear. You can clearly see the battery in it. It actually looks pretty cool, clear. Then we also have the little cardboard tray that even says Game Boy. Well, actually CGB. I don't know. Got ahead of myself. But we have the cardboard tray. This is everything we got with the Game Boy Color. Actually, I thought there was... Oh! There was one more piece. It also has the Nintendo Power offer form. That's why it's important to look through everything before the video. Alright, so now that's everything that came with this
We're going to take a look at the gameplay of Mario Tennis for Game Boy Color. We start out by meeting another character in the game. We're going to play them in a tennis match to try and level up. We're at level 4 and they are level 3, so that's who we're going to play. And the gameplay isn't too bad. Since it's for the Game Boy, you have the D-pad, and A and B. On the GameCube, I do have the joystick, so it kind of makes it a little easier. The movement does feel a little bit rigid, and it takes me a little bit to get used to it, you know. But after some practice, I got into a decent pattern. We got the ball back and forth a couple of times. Probably, I think at one point it went on for like 5. It felt like 5 minutes. Maybe it was only 30 seconds, but it's going pretty good. I was able to score against the computer. The controls felt limiting. They felt like I was being almost held back. And at one point in the game, it just kind of, the character almost, he would start flashing a lock up. And I don't know if hitting the A button too many times caused the character to just, I don't know, have a seizure or something, and just start flashing. And after that happened a couple times, I just kind of put the game down and called it quits. Hopefully, those are not that's not how the whole game goes. But for right now, that was my impressions of it. A GameCube might not be, I don't know if it's the translation of one system to another or what, but the control just felt like you're a little restricted, and sometimes if you button too many times, you would lock up.
Well, this has been the unboxing of Mario Tennis for Game Boy Color. I will not be able to do the comparison that I was hoping to do with the other two systems. I will have to either A, get another Game Boy game, not a Game Boy Color game, or just use one of my existing games. And I do have a few. I probably have 10. I sold off quite a bit of Game Boy games, so I just don't play anymore. But comparison will have to come later. This one is just on this game, which is fun. It's very fun. I need to put some more time into it. But thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this at all, please subscribe, give a thumbs up, and tell your friends about this rambling video about Mario Tennis. Thank you, and have a good night. Bye-bye.